Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, I need your guys' help a little bit on this because I've recently upgraded one of my characters to, or another character to 60 recently. But I'm at a bit of a, pretty much. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be there in a couple levels. So if you guys followed my last video or one of my my big pull videos, I did end up getting Geomancer, and then I've kind of slowly upgraded him. I had some five-star food waiting in preparation of this, so he's going to be 60 pretty soon. But I honestly don't know who my next one is going to be. So we're going to do a little bit of a roster dive, and we're going to talk about some of the characters that I have that might be in the running for level 60 soon, or maybe I should just, farm up some food to take characters up to level 60 and hold until I get someone better. We're going to be talking about all that in today's video. And before we get started with the rest of the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started an account on Raid Shadow Legends yet, then you can download the game using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen, or using the link in the description down below to get yourself a free Epic Rector draft alongside some other freebie resources which you'll use. Also, by account level 15, you will get yourself this Ugo, who is one of the best epic characters in Raid Shadow Legends. I am using them every single day on my roster, so don't delay, and they'll definitely help you out in your start. All right, so I am about 4 weeks into the game. So just as some clarity, if anyone's watching this video and wondering how far is Boilon on his account, so it is a little bit less than a month in, and I will have about 660. So I've made quite a bit of progress in Raid. I'm pretty happy largely with the progress that I've made in the game, and I do have Alice at 60, who has been amazing, right? The Alice Chase event has been absolutely amazing, especially for the free 5 red that I got after the 28 days. So that was a lot, or whatever it was, the phase 2, right? And then I got super lucky and got a 6 red pull for Kale, who has been an absolute beast in my roster for everything. So he's still, one of my main characters that I'm running because I don't. The 6 red is just absolutely crazy still. And then I have Sun Wukong, and then I have Rector Drath and Ugo. Of course, both of these characters are ones that you'll get for downloading using the QR code or downloading using the link, right? So you get these for free, which I got with starting, and then Sun Wukong, who I got using the Monkey King promo code. So that was that, and then Alice for free, of course, in the event. So now I have Geomancer coming up on 60, and he's probably going to be the target of my epic skills, my epic books, right? And so I put 2 in so far. I didn't get that lucky. I went into the A1 here, but it is something that I do want to work on because I think that he is really powerful against a lot of different bosses. I'm currently using him in my clan boss and my demon lord and stuff like that, and I am seeing a pretty good increase in my damage, and I think that's where I want to focus on. You might be seeing this Neldor Rhyme Blade here. I pulled them in my Knave of Hearts ball. I actually haven't been using him that much. I think I use him a little bit in Fire Knight, but I'm not really farming Fire Knight that much right now. And so that's where I see a lot of the reviews, but I think it's largely to do with hard mode Fire Knight's castle. So I think this is something that I didn't need to do right away, especially since I took him to 5 purple as well. So he's just going to stay here, I think, for now. I don't think he's in the running for level 60, but who might be in the running is Farrakhan the Fat. I think this is something that I might be wanting to do, but of course the other thing too is he's an epic. Who needs epic books, right? And I don't think he's worth it necessarily over Geomancer to finish off, just because I think that he's just a much better character just in general. Like, I mean, there's like 1,000 reviews on an epic character, so I gotta believe that he's worth it. But of course, that Farrakhan the Fat has quite a few reviews as well for a wide range of content, including Fire Knight's Castle as well. Both regular and hard mode, Demon Lord, Faction Wars, Chimera, Dragon's Lair, etc., etc. So he is someone that I might be looking at taking to level 60 next. I'm not getting a lot of epic books, right? And I guess free to play, or I don't buy. I'm not a free to play account, sorry, but I don't buy offers that have books in it typically. So it's a little bit slower going for me. And whether or not he's still worth it without the books at level 60, like he has improved my gameplay and my roster, especially on Clan Boss. I don't have a ton of other options. I did pull this Strategos Islan, and I haven't put a ton of investment into him because I don't have his ascensions yet either, because he's a legendary, which costs more to ascend, that kind of thing. And legendary books are even harder to get, but he's quite a defensive character. He does also do a 30% speed debuff, but unfortunately, without the books, it's not guaranteed, which kind of sucks. But he does have a really good ultimate here with in terms of buffs, increased defense, ally protection, all of that stuff. So he's really, really good on the defense side of things. And also his passive here that heals themselves by 1% for every 500 defense that the champion has. And also if the allies are under ally protection, which just comes from this, right? So he could be an option for some of my more harder content, I guess, that needs more defensive characters. The other option could be Bellower. This is something that I talked about in my previous video about top rares. He does have a really good kit, right? And he's a rare, so he's already maxed out on books. That's not a problem. And so I was thinking of bringing him up for furthermore for the Spider Boss as well. I think he does really well there because all of his attacks are AoE, and that would help there. Of course, in the Ogren Faction Wars crypt as well. I don't know if that Faction Wars shouldn't really be a reason necessarily to take a character to level 60, but that is a possibility. But when you go from there, I guess I just don't have the widest of rosters yet, right? So the other option could be that I take Morag Bronzelock up a little bit higher. Where I've been using her is, again, largely in Fire Knight's Castle. She's rated 4.7 in the Demon Lord, but I'm not using her there for Demon Lord. So for me, my Demon Lord team obviously includes Geomancer. I'm using Farrakhan the Fat, Kale, Rector Drath, and Ugo. So those are my 5. If you guys think that there's a better composition of what I have in my roster, I don't think Alice or Sun Wukong really do much as far as like they don't scale well. I'm just kind of just stacking poisons and burn with the other characters. I probably don't need Ugo because it's also putting up more debuffs on the clan boss and it has less room for poisons. So maybe a separate character. I just don't know if I really have anyone that kind of fits that kind of docket there for things that I need to do. As far as other epic characters I have available, a lot of defensive based characters. I have Dawncaller, Sabitha. I don't know if there's anyone that like super stands out though. So if there's some experienced players watching this video, and has a better idea of some of the characters that perhaps might have some value in my roster, I would be really happy to take that advice. Sinisha is another character who I have seen. Now, I do have a 2 red, just waiting in the Altar of Souls, if I do ascend her, but I don't know. I haven't been. I actually loaded her up with the stun set, just a kind of a weaker stun set here. And I've been using her in Faction Wars for Knight's Revenant and just doing her basically spamming her basic to trigger the stun. But other than that, like I just don't know in terms of my roster. Juliana was someone that I was using for a little while in Demon Lord, but it got replaced. Juliana got replaced when I got Geomancer. I felt it was a little bit better, but again, epic books, right? Like if I was able to somehow, I mean, it's mostly damage actually, which isn't really a big deal. I could get this up a little higher, but you can't really like choose where you put your books in, right? It's kind of random. Oh, I don't know. The rest of the characters don't really have a crazy amount of reviews that I have, especially in my epic section. I'm just kind of like cycling through here. They're pretty generic, I would say. I don't have anyone that's quite over the top here. I did get some recent ones, of course. In my latest pull. Grimskin, Broodlord, kind of dupe for Rector Drath. Talia? So Talia was a more recent pull. Skiramis, I was saying that right? 2 Talias, actually, in fact. I just don't know, right? So other than that, I've just been kind of grinding up some food up to 5-star, getting some food up to 5-star. So if I need to take a character to 60, I can do that, especially if I get someone new, I guess, over the next little while. Something shows up and lands in my lap that I end up pulling. If there's any new Ancient Shard events coming in the near future, maybe I'll pull from that because I think my Legendary Mercy is probably due up pretty soon. But I do like those extra Legendary events, which unfortunately did not pan out in my video, but you never know. And so I think what I'm trying to focus on right now is more clan boss kind of content. This is really hard, and I'm actually having a lot of fun. I'm only a couple weeks into Raid Shadow Legends, but I want to say that I'm having a ton of fun, especially with Demon Lord and Chimera. Hydra is really hard. It is not fit for my roster, really, because I managed to do like just under 1 million with my top team here. And I do not really have enough characters to kind of field another one to do any reasonable amount of damage. So that's unfortunate, but I understand this is some of the hardest content in Raid Shadow Legends, and I'm looking forward to seeing my improvement, as I play longer in this game. And that's what's kept me going, because there's tons of PvE content where I'm constantly making progress in my game, and I'm having a lot of fun doing that. Demon Lord, I've managed to, with my clan anyways, we clear easy and normal fine. We're doing hard mode now. We can usually clear hard mode, and that's kind of where we're at right now. We're not really getting through brutal or anything like that because of, it's a pretty early clan. But if you're interested, make sure that you click on the link in the description down below for my Discord server, because we do have a Raid Shadow Legends channel there where you can talk about things. That's going to be the end of this video, though, and I would really love to know what your guys' thoughts are on my character roster and what character I should take up next. I think it's going to be Farrakhan the Fat, but if you think that there's someone else in here that might make more sense, please do let me know in the comments down below. And of course, everybody, until next time. Oh, wait. And also, if you haven't started playing Raid Shadow Legends, if you're playing this and you haven't started it yet, do make sure that you download using the QR code in the top right hand of the screen or in the description link down below. And you will get yourself, of course, a free Rector draft upon starting the game and finishing up your tutorial. And then you'll also get a free Ugo at account level 15. So don't miss out if you haven't started playing that yet. But otherwise, that's going to be the end of this video, everyone. And of course, until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.